Hello there. Indeed have another video topic to make. I'm hoping to be able to make an infinite amount of these. Not only that, but also keep on generating new ideas and new content so this can be a source of relatively minor income. That would be great. Anyway, so my next video topic is going to be about cotton yarn. Cotton yarn's great. I've heard that people tend to have issues with it because cotton yarn's not elastic, especially on the microscopic level like wool and acrylic is. So there's a little bit of stretch, there's a little bit of give. So when they're working with cotton yarn in their tension hand, they get pretty sore wrists or fingers or something. Me personally, I cannot relate to that. However, that is something you may want to be aware of if you've got I'll just say it bluntly, older hands or like arthritic hands. If you're young and dumb like me, it's probably not going to be an issue. It also does depend on how tight you hold your yarn typically in your tension hand. I don't hold it tight. I still have a tight tension when I want to, but the pulley system I create within my hand gives me the alleviation of tightness or looseness, and I can typically crochet however I want to. So that all works out for me. I don't get sore wrists from crocheting with cotton. That could be because I'm young. It could be because of the way I hold my yarn. It could be a bit of both. But that's just sort of how the rock votes. Anyway, cotton yarn is an amazing yarn. It is, I believe, the second most expensive. Hang on. The next cheapest yarn I meant from acrylic. So that's great. It can still be pricey. Like if you're considering just making a blanket, $50 worth of yarn versus like $80 or $100, like yeah, that's gonna suck. Totally don't blame you if you're wanting to just use acrylic, especially for blanket making. It'll hold up fine, but again, still with the cheaper acrylic, it's going to feel nasty after a fair few washes, even if you're following the care instructions. I'm pretty sure you can get away with it if you're hand washing it, but in my opinion, I am not hand washing blanket acrylic yarn. That just sounds like such a waste of my time and effort. And that's a good thing with cotton. You could just chuck that in the washing machine. It does not care. Cotton is very strong. You could chuck it in the dryer. It may have a tiny minor amount of shrinkage, but it's a blanket. Also, even with if you're making clothes and such, I don't think the shrinkage is that dramatic to have a terrible difference. It's just going to look fine. And even then, I wouldn't chuck in crochet cotton clothes into the dryer. I would just let them air dry, and like that looks perfectly good. It blocks as well just on its own. You don't need to do any fancy pinning. It's fine. I don't bother with pinning when it comes to blocking, because of the fact that once you wear it again and move it around and do all that stuff, all of that pinning and effort that you've done is just going to depreciate and not matter again once you wash it. So just, if you're blocking things, just wash it. Blocking is a whole other different type of topic, but anyway, again, if you want to make the cotton side of things cheaper, polycotton's a great way to go. Acrylic cotton or polyester cotton, I mentioned in my last video, but I'll mention it again. Polyester cotton is probably the best for clothes making because cotton holds onto a lot of moisture. It carries mass quite heavily. So cotton's heavy, it absorbs really, really well. If you're like sweating and you're feeling a bit warm and stuff, cotton is probably going to keep you feeling humid and hot. Like, cotton is supposed to keep you feeling nice and cool, but sometimes it just doesn't. I think that is because it can trap the humidity, whereas a polyester cotton will help dry you out quickly, and maybe with acrylic too. But the thing with acrylic is that acrylic acts like wool, so it's just going to insulate and trap that heat as well. So, but the thing with acrylic as well is if it gets a little bit moist or a little bit damp, it's going to dry away really quickly, because acrylic is plastic and plastic doesn't absorb water. It's like swishing around a plastic bag in water. It's just going to drip right off. It's not going to do anything. It's got water on it, but it's not in it. So I still think acrylic cotton would keep you dehumidified, but I'm not sure about temperature, whereas polyester's used in sports clothing. Polyester cotton will give you the benefits of keeping cool while maintaining your heat. Keeping cool, maintaining your heat while dealing with the humidification of what your body is producing. Cotton yarn is great. It is one of my favorite yarns to work with. However, you cannot use it with amigurumi toy making. I mean, you totally can. I don't know what I'm saying. You can totally make it with cotton yarn. I just don't think it's a good yarn for it. On a microscopic level, cotton is ribbon fibers. So if you can imagine getting a bunch of rectangle strips and then trying to make crochet with that, it's going to leave gaps. So it doesn't matter when you're toy making, and if you're using invisible decreases, your crochet stitches in your toy making is going to just show up sometimes, and there's nothing you can really do about that because there's no fluffiness in cotton yarn. It is just stiff plant, and stiff plant is great. I love stiff plant. It's not really great for making toys. What else can I think? Couple more things, I guess. Back to when I was talking about washing cotton. Over time, it'll feel softer, and that is comparing to acrylic. Cotton will tend to get softer over time as the fibers open up and technically degrade. As it degrades from years of use and washing, it's going to feel nicer and softer until it no longer exists. Another topic is if you're going to use it for cleaning material, it's going to just hold on to that water. So unless you want it to sit in its wetness, degrading faster, or you are happy to run outside and peg it in the air to dry, or put it in the dryer every time you use it as a shower mitten or wash your dishes, stick to a polyester or acrylic cotton blend. Again, plastic fibers, they don't hold. Plastic fibers do not hold onto moisture, so it's going to dry like 50% faster, or twice as fast. I'm not quite sure if it's a 50-50 acrylic and cotton. So if you're going to be doing cleaning, hygiene related things, I would recommend half plastic, half cotton material. However, if you've just got pure cotton, it's not the end of the world. I do not recommend pure cotton in the shower though. I have one of them and it's never dry. And yes, I still use it because it took me hours to make. I'll take a photo of it at some point. You'll see why. It's 4 granny squares with 4 different colors in each, so that was a lot of weaving to do. So I am getting my use out of that as much as possible. However, for pure cotton, or wool, actually, just a pure natural fiber, highly recommended if you want to use it for a pot holder. That is something that is like a very thick square that you will place your very hot pot or your very hot pan or your very hot oven tray onto, so then it's not heat directly touching your kitchen bench. The reason for that is because acrylic and plastic will melt at low temperatures. You know, like not boiling water temperatures, it's not that pathetic. However, anything a little bit higher than that, it will definitely melt and turn into plastic lava. Not good, especially if you live in a rental. That's gonna kind of ruin your bench tops, and you have to pay that with your bond. So stick to pure natural fibers like wool or cotton. They are going to be your cheapest option. I wouldn't bother using viscose, like bamboo and all that. Waste of money for something like that, unless you're rich. So that won't catch on fire really. It's not an open flame, and I guess I wouldn't recommend cotton for glass blowing. That might actually catch fire, but not sure about that. It will retain the heat very well. If you are going to make a pot holder, make sure it is like very thick. Like if you're thinking about doing it in single crochets, just like a single crochet square, make 2 layers of that. Just to be extra cautious and insulate it from the bench. Same with the wool, and whatnot. There are patterns that you can specifically type up, pot holder crochet, and look for something that's thick, not just like a cute 1-layered thing. There's this, I keep forgetting what it's called, but it might be called like a mosaic crochet pattern. That is like so it starts off with a mesh netting, like a filet crochet thing. So you start off with like this mesh, and then upon the mesh grids, you build up a double crochet layer, and it like goes all wavy and it looks like a brain. It's the most 3-dimensional crochet piece you could ever make, and people typically use that for like bath mats. So I think that would work very well for a pot holder. Is there anything else I can think of right now? Oh yeah, if you are going to be making like toys and stuff with cotton, your best interest in mind would be for babies, because like acrylic yarn is great, but being worried about microplastics is very understandable. So making it out of wool or cotton is going to be really good for babies. They're just going to be chewing on a plant or chewing on a barnyard animal, so they're going to not ingest microplastics nearly to the same level. It's very hard to escape from microplastics. But yeah, acrylic very bad for microplastics and the environment. I guess so is cotton when it terms of water usage, and I guess people labor. Not sure how morally ethical all of that is. Same with the factory production of cotton turning into fibers, as well as plastic fibers turning into fibers. Who knows what these people are going through in the factories. It's very hard to be ethical on every step of the ladder of mass production. So how long has this gone for? 13 minutes. That is really good. So I'm just going to look through my notes. I've pretty much mentioned everything. Become soft, great for babies. It'll still leave stitch gaps for toys and stuff, but it's still, if you're thinking about a baby. Sorry, that's my dog barking. He's beautiful. Hand issues, if you're that kind of person. Heavy material, so it's still great for blankets, but it is heavy. Yeah, it will hold on to water like crazy. Don't use it for shower products. Good for pot holders or handling hot stuff out of the oven. Maybe not handling hot stuff out of the oven. You gotta be like very diligent. Just buy an oven mitt. Ignore that I said that. Buy an oven mitt, please. Yeah, I hate my dog, but I love him so much. He's a little fluffy thing. Anyway, I think this concludes this video about cotton. I hope you had a good day, because I'm having a great musical night with my dog. See ya!